I have learned I can still be a good mom and I can still be Britney at the end of the day. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Brit's Brew. Today's Brit's Brew is going to be about my latest photo shoot and also my therapy session from today. It was a mouthful. Try to say that again. Therapy session from today. First of all, what I'm drinking, I got something new today. As you can see, almost done drinking it. But I got a iced chai tea latte and I was gonna get the pumpkin cold foam on top. They didn't have that. They said they had regular, salted, and chocolate. And I was like, the salted one actually would sound really good with chai, and that's what I got. And it was actually pretty good. Hence why I'm almost done drinking it. Just to jump right in, I had a therapy appointment today. At first, I was like, what am I gonna talk about? What am I gonna talk about? The first thing we talked about was my photo shoot from yesterday and kind of opening up about the Britney now versus the Britney 2 years ago when I first started to see her. Or it might have been longer than 2 years ago. I just say 2 years ago because I feel like the past 2 years is the most I've grown throughout my whole years of life. I have definitely changed the most within the past 2 years, and I was just talking to her about how therapy is a big, huge part of that. So I have to give credit to therapy for all the improvements that I've made over this past year. And what I mean by that is I feel like I've made so many different improvements, but the main thing that I have been wanting to focus on is my confidence, my self-esteem, working through the past and things that were holding me back and holding me back from the person that I wanted to be. And all of it collectively is, you know, a huge part of who I am. For anybody that doesn't know, I did a boudoir. I feel like I've been mispronouncing it this whole time. I'm just gonna say photo shoot, and when I say that, you guys will know what I'm talking about. But I had one of those photo shoots and I've been actually wanting to do them for the longest time. I just didn't have the confidence or the courage, or I thought in my head that I don't look good enough to be doing that. Which you guys know, the past 2 years, I've also really worked on not only my mental health, but also my physical health. I started exercising regularly. I started running again regularly. I started weightlifting. I've never done that before. Eating healthier. I've started to really take care of my body as well. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've always had issues with my self-image and my self-worth, my self-esteem, anything to do with me, Britney. I've always doubted, I've always crapped on it. Like it stems from so much. A big part of that is because I just didn't have that instilled in me. I didn't have self-confidence instilled or worth or anything. I didn't have a role model for that, nothing. So, you know, it's hard to display something that you were never taught. So in my late 20s, I had to learn all of that all over again, which was a lot of hard work. A lot of tears, a lot of crying, a lot of wanting to give up. So I've just struggled a lot with it for the longest time. And I feel like I have started recently getting to a point where I am confident, more comfortable with myself. My self-esteem has gone way up. I've worked through a lot in therapy with it. I was talking to my friend Christine about this, and I was telling her how I've always wanted to do one, and that's when she recommended the photographer that I went to yesterday and got us hooked up and kind of linked us together, and had a conversation with her, told her like why I'm doing this, and her whole thing is empowering women, making them feel beautiful and confident. Even she said most of her clients are moms because her whole mission is to making also moms feel empowered and sexy again. Because I'm gonna tell you what, guys, the stigma around moms and how, I guess, just your sexiness, your appeal, everything just goes away once you have kids. It doesn't. That person's still in there. That person, you are not only defined as a mom. I have learned I can still be a good mom and I can still be Britney at the end of the day, which Britney has a feminine, womanly side. I am still an adult. I'm still a woman, and I am not just defined as a mother. So that is also why I did the photo shoot, because I was like, you know what? Moms can be sexy too. Who said I want to know who said that moms cannot be sexy. And listen, I know it's not for everybody. Not everybody cares to feel sexy, and that's okay. That's fine. But if you do, why not embrace it? Why not embrace that confidence? And that is why I did the photo shoot. And I was talking to my therapist and I was like, yeah, Britney 2 years ago would have never done this. I would have never done that. I would have missed out on something so amazing, because when I had left, I felt so much more confident and empowering, which I didn't expect. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get my pictures taken and you know, that's gonna be it. But it definitely helped a lot. And it helped to be very comfortable with the photographer as well. She was amazing. She directed me. She did literally everything and above and more than what I could imagine. But going back to my therapy appointment, because I don't want to make this all about the photo shoot. But we also started talking about my childhood and just also realizing a lot of things that I went through correlates with a lot of the things that I did as an adult, because there is a lot of things that I told her I didn't understand about myself until I did come to therapy and it all clicked with me, and I finally realized, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is why I'm this way, or this is why I think this. And I just started to have these realizations that so much of what happened in my childhood molded me into the person I am and was, because there's a version of myself that is no longer here. I actually got one message today. Somebody said they were unfollowing me or something like that because I've changed, and I was like, okay, well, thank God I did, because the person I used to be 5 years ago was not happy. So thank God I've changed, and thank God I continuously outgrow the older version of me and blossom and grow into a newer version of me, because that's the point of life. You're always supposed to grow and hopefully grow into yourself and what makes you happy, and not just stay stagnant your whole life. Unless you feel happy or content doing that, then go for it. I don't feel happy or content with being stagnant in my life. I feel like I am constantly growing. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly overcoming so many different things that I've gone through. I know I've opened up a little bit about it, but it's honestly the tip of the iceberg of everything. So basically, I have to recognize that within myself. I have to give myself credit for that, because I've definitely overcome a lot. It's hard sometimes, especially when you do have a family and kids, to not let that trickle into your kids as well. So that's another thing that I have been working on, and being more mindful of that, and just talking to my therapist about that, and also talking to her about other people in my life and not being able to control anybody. And what I mean by that is everybody obviously is their own person. We all have our own journeys. What one person's going through is their own stuff, and what I'm going through is my own stuff. And I have to remind myself, and this is the best way I can put it. I actually saw a reel on Instagram that described this perfectly. Everybody carries our own boxes. We carry our own packages full of our own baggage, our own perception, our own opinions, our own everything. You guys hear anything outside? The girls are playing outside. But you know, we all carry our own stuff, everybody in this world. And sometimes what we end up doing is we try to pass off those packages to other people. And just like the person, for example, that told me I've changed, trying to pass off whatever she's going through, whatever she doesn't find acceptable, trying to pass that off to me by saying that she's going to unfollow me. But the great part about it is that we get to choose if we want to accept those packages or not. Even 2 years ago, when I was still feeling very insecure about myself and having all my doubts and self-esteem and everything, and especially after having Fletcher, that's when I struggled the most with my mental health. And I would have taken stuff like that really personally, or even somebody in my real life doing something that I had a problem with but didn't understand their boundaries, or I would take things too personal or be a people pleaser, whatever it may be. I would take those boxes, and then I would have that weight on top of the weight that I am already carrying, my own packages. And sometimes it would be a lot to carry mentally. And I have realized now that sometimes, yeah, I can take on somebody's smaller box. That's fine. But I get to also choose, be like, you know what? Nope, I'm sorry. I'm not taking this package that you're trying, or this box that you're trying to push onto me. I already have my own boxes, you know. That is your box, you know? So I hope I'm explaining this well. I feel like the reel that I watched, she explained it way better than I am. So that aspect, having that realization and starting to apply it, I am so much more at peace. Now, with that being said, I know I personally have a ton of work that I still have to do. Everybody has work to do. Never give up on working on yourself. You should always work towards being a better person, which I try to work towards being a better person every single day for myself, so that I can be a better wife, I can be a better friend, I can be a better mother, but I always have to make sure that I'm okay first. You have to have that peace and security with yourself, and I am slowly learning that things that I thought was super selfish, I'm learning no, it's not selfish. Like, it's vital for not only for yourself, your mental health, your well-being, but also to whoever's cup that you fill up out of yours. So I guess now circling back to the photo shoot, because this has everything to do with it, in the sense that 5 years ago Britney would have said no. Britney 2 years ago would have said no, even though I've been wanting to. And after talking to my friend, and after talking to my therapist, and after talking with myself, I'm like, well, why can't I? Why can't I do it? It's something I wanted to do. It's something I want to feel confident doing. And I think that applies to literally anything in your life that you are wanting to do, but you are holding yourself back. Because trust me, you guys, I know that firsthand. I've held myself back from doing so many different things, and slowly over the years, of course, I've got out of my box and got out of my box and got out of my box, and I'm at the point where I'm like, listen, we only have this one life. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. I'm gonna sound super cliched. We only have one life to live. One life. Of course, if you think otherwise, like past life, but I'm talking about here in this world, this physical world. We only have this right now, this world. Why should we put ourselves in this little box? Why should we make ourselves so small to the things that we want to do outside of that box? Who says that we can't? And most of the time, the only person that's saying that we can't is ourselves. And trust me, guys, I'm still working on this, because there are a lot of things I still want to do that I still need to muster the courage and be like, you know what, F this, I'm gonna do what I want. And I want to pass that message along to you guys. And I know a lot of people are like, okay, it's just a photo shoot. To me, it was bigger than that. It signified so much to me. It signified getting out of my own skin. I was gonna say getting out of my clothes, because I did that too, but you know what I mean, just getting out of my skin, finally doing something that I've been wanting to do, and it just felt so good. And I've been sharing some stuff on Instagram. If you guys want to go follow me on Instagram, I'll even do like a little highlight. I need to do that actually. If you follow my brunette Brit account, it's my private account for 18 plus, then you guys probably saw some more stuff over there, but that's where I'm a little bit more risque, a little bit more candid. That's where Britney the person is, not Britney the mom is, if you guys want to go follow that account. I don't know, today was a good therapy session. At first, like I said, I didn't want to go. I was like, what am I going to talk about? And then it just kind of spiraled from there, and it just made me super thankful that I did go back to therapy, and just to realize how appreciative I am of my growth and how far I've come, and also realizing I still have got a lot of things to work on, and that's okay too. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about for this Brit's Brew video, and just kind of share and pass that along with you guys. And let me know in the comments down below, what is one thing that you've been wanting to do that you've been holding yourself back? I'm very curious to know of like the different things that you guys have wanted to do but you haven't done it yet, or you are telling yourself no. Please let me know, and if you're comfortable telling me why as well, I would be very interested in reading that, because I feel like we all have our things that we are holding ourselves back, and hopefully after watching this, you guys won't hold yourself back anymore. Please don't do it anymore. Finally do what you want to do. But I'm gonna leave it on that note. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
Hey, now look into my eyes.